What's up, everyone? Matt here from TSMoto, and it's been a while. I've been doing lots of short content lately, and no long-form content. And after talking to a bunch of people, y'all missed the long-form content, so we're doing something a little bit different today. I haven't been giving the CB500F any love at all in the last few months, particularly because I've just been on the DRZ, living that DRZ life. So I'm out here for a little bit doing a ride. Sun's kind of going down. I got about an hour before sunset officially hits. We're going to see if we could just do a quick little nice round-trip ride and, have a good time. This bike feels so different compared to the DRZ. It is like night and day. Everything on this bike feels so much more smooth. I'm not quite used to it. I've been so used to that DRZ. Funny enough, I'm at like 3,500 miles on the DRZ, and this thing is at 43 right now. The 4,300 miles on this, I've had this bike for like 2 years now. So it took me a lot longer to get there on here than it did on the DRZ. I love the DRZ so much, but this was my first bike. I still have it. It still makes me happy and smile every time I get on it. And I've been thinking about selling it, but at the same time, I don't know, I kind of want to keep it. It's almost fully paid off. I owe less than $2,000 on it. I've been paying extra on this loan since I got it so I could pay it off faster. But I don't know. I love this thing. It may be really hard for me to get rid of. I just feel bad because it sits in the garage and like it doesn't get any love. And that's not right. It needs to get some love. So that's why I'm giving it some love today at least. It's funny, before I got the DRZ, I was like super duper interested in modding this thing to kind of look and feel like an adventure bike. And I mean, I added some interesting stuff to it. Like I got handguards here that, aren't going to do anything, but they mostly just deflect wind, which is kind of nice when it's colder out. I had engine guards on here. I only added them really for the look. They look cool, but like one thing I learned is they're super great for mounting cameras too. So I may have to do some more stuff where I mount some cameras down there to get some more interesting shots. Double take mirrors. I'm in love with these things. I'll put them on every bike I ever own. They're great. I just can't say enough good things about them. I got this windscreen on here, which doesn't really do a whole lot. Helps keep bugs off my phone, which I guess is actually kind of nice. But I do have frames on the back for panniers. Eventually I'll put those back on here, but I may do some longer trips on this guy. It's a lot more comfortable to do distance riding on. Like I spent an 8-hour day riding this months ago, and it was such a good time. This bike just feels so smooth. Everything is smooth about it. Throttle's smooth, braking smooth, shifting's really smooth. I'm just gonna turn the voice off on that thing because it's reading out like the programmed string that I think it's supposed to like send to the phone. It's weird. It's just annoying more than anything. I can look down every once in a while and make a turn, and if I don't make the correct turn, well, I like adventure riding. And you don't need an adventure bike or a dual sport to do adventure riding. You can go on adventures with any kind of bike. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Doesn't have to be through dirt to be an adventure. Although I kind of am interested in taking this through some more dirt and gravel stuff now, especially that I've got a lot more experience with the DRZ. I'm sure this thing will be wishy-washy all over just because of the tires, but who gives a fuck? It's part of the fun, right? Man, this picks up way faster than the DRZ by comparison. This is nice. There's like no one out on the road too, which makes this way more fun to do. Glad I'm not turning left there. Big line of traffic. That is such a beautiful day. It's like high 70s today here, and it's just been absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to get out sooner and do a longer ride, but wasn't in the cards for me. Still glad I'm able to get out for a little bit. It's been about a month since I've been on a bike, believe it or not, and I needed this big time. The last trip I did was Transmass Trail. There's tons of shorts from that. I thought about cutting that into a longer video, but unfortunately I didn't actually record audio of myself speaking. So it's just whatever is in camera, which depending on the situation is either good or crap. So alas, probably won't get a long video from that. Man, this bike feels so different compared to the DRZ. Oh my god. I remember when I was getting my motorcycle license, there was one dual sport there. And of course, a tall dude grabbed it because, you know, thing's super duper high off the ground. I remember looking at that thing going, man, I don't think I'll ever be able to ride something like that. And, well, here I am. I mostly ride my DRZ now, and that thing is stock height off the ground, so it's up there. And I am a short rider. I'm 5'9". When I bought the DRZ, man, I had very, very little experience with anything like dual sport and off-road related. Like, I had done a couple courses, I enjoyed it, but you know what? 3,500 miles later, and I am way comfortable on that bike. I'm comfortable in a lot of the low traction situations I get myself into, and I'm looking to try harder and more complicated things. So it's one of those things where you put the time in, you put the effort in, especially if you like it, you see notable progress in a short span of time. And honestly, I mean, riding off-road has made me such a better street rider, because there's lots of situations that I've encountered where having that skill, like, it just, you know, being more confident and leaning the bike over and like getting out of tight turn scenarios, to, you know, having to brake in a way that's not going to cause you to frickin' lock up the front end and wash out and die. To even just like super simple things like handling, slipping and sliding a little bit, which is, I mean, most guys on street bikes, you lose traction, they freak out, they lose all their confidence. I don't blame them. It's a scary thing when it's not something you're expecting and not something you're used to. But you know what? I lost traction in my rear tire on the DRZ on pavement going through a turn back when I was in West Virginia. It didn't faze me at all, because you know what? I'm so used to losing traction in my rear tire particularly that I rode right through and I didn't have any problems. It is definitely one of those things where building that confidence and building that skill makes a huge difference. And comparing that to on and off-road, it's amazing how much of that crosses over onto the street when you learn how to do stuff in low traction environments and off-road. Now, that being said, it's not quite the same going the opposite direction. Being a street rider and going off-road is a very, very different thing. Something that, if you're not prepared for, can be a very scary experience. So just because you're a really, really good street rider doesn't mean you're going to cut it off-road first try. Keep that in mind. And I mean, it kind of works the same way. You could be a really good off-road rider and not be the greatest on the street, but I started on the street, I learned off-road, and now going back and forth, I feel like I'm a better rider because of it, because I have different experiences in different environments, and I've learned a lot of different skills that come in handy. One of the things that I started to realize lately, especially with not like riding for the last month, because I've just been so busy between traveling and work and dealing with just life things in general, riding has been immense for my mental health. Like, when I get out and ride, 95% of the time, my mood shifts. I'm super happy. I love it. It changes everything. It calms me down. It makes things much nicer. Now, there's occasional rides where, you know, shit is just annoying, but happens with everything. But still, like, the last month has been just ridiculous for me. It's been non-stop, go, 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 and I'm still not quite done yet. But being able to get out for a ride today for like an hour, I already feel so much better. You can't see it, but I've got a huge smile on my face, and I've had it the entire time I've been on this bike. It makes me so happy. I gotta say, riding is one of those hobbies or sports, however you want to define it. I don't know where I am at this point. I feel like when I do rally stuff, it feels more like a sport than it does just, you know, a casual hobby, but at the same time, I do it for fun. I don't know, man. But regardless, this is one of those things I am so glad I got into. It makes me, I don't know what the fuck I was doing right there. It makes me so happy. I love it. It's so much fun, and especially like adventure and dual sport riding is It's a really nice way to get outdoors. It's a really good workout, like shifting that bike around and adapting to terrain scenarios and stuff like it. It is exhausting, and it makes me so happy. And the next day, I just want to get up and do more. My iPhone's yelling at me that my audio should be turned down because that's a deer. Oh, that was a deer. Oh, dear friend. Yeah, my iPhone's yelling at me that the audio is too loud. All it knows is the volume on the device. It doesn't know that I have external control for my audio. That's a little easier to use. Ooh, I get to roundabout. Oh boy, haven't done one of those in a while on this thing. I am not getting gas there. Holy hell. $4.15 a gallon? What kind of crack are you guys smoking? $4.49. Holy shit. That's ridiculous. Remind me never to get gas over here. Ever, ever, ever. That is horrendously overpriced. Now, how much is gas over here? I'm curious. $3.35. $3.35. Literally over $1 less for going 5 minutes down the road. Talk about a total fucking scam. Also, I should probably just get gas there because I think the station by my house is like $3.80 something, but it's okay. At least it's not $4.50. My God. Oh, now it's blinking at me. Yep, now we're in reserve. Oh boy. And now it's not. Ooh, it's right at the edge. That's okay. We're gonna hit a gas station here real quick. So. Yeah, $3.69 over here. Like even that's not terrible compared to $4.50 a gallon. Jesus. All right, everyone, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I'm going to do some real old school YouTube stuff here, too, for those of you that have been around for a while. Leave a comment below with the word Honda, so I know you made it to the end of the video. Until next time, ride safe.